Steph Curry is the man who changed everything. He blew up the league. No one has ever played the way he does, especially at this level. He's a smiling guy with a phenomenal shot. He's not a 6'3" dominator like Shaquille or Wemby, not a mental killer like a Michael or Kobe, not a combination of strength and speed like LeBron. He's like a regular person, like you and me. The association has become a collection of talented but mindless players. Or is this the analytical manable approach? Let's find out. My name is Ibra and this is Hook Talks channel. Please subscribe if you want to see more content. Let's go. Curry's impact on basketball is undeniable, and both his loyal fans and his most ardent haters must recognize that. His revolutionary style has turned everything upside down. Critics argue that his dominance of three-point shot has moved basketball away from its roots. Now those who shoot the most from beyond the arc win, and every combination is all about the long shot. Steph's fans, on the other hand, see him as a visionary who just figured out the most efficient way to win games before anyone else. Every superstar has had his haters. LeBron is disliked for teaming up with star teammates, Harden for flopping and asking for fouls, and even Michael Jordan is blamed for winning only next to Pippen, although these accusations come mostly from Pippen himself. Curry expanded the strategic possibilities of basketball and inspired an entire generation. Is that a bad thing? Curry came to the league in the 2009 draft. He's played for one team his entire career, a rare example of loyalty to the club where he began his journey and where he will likely finish it. Soon we'll be analyzing his story as he hangs up his sneakers. It's already clear it's been a glorious career with the 4 championship rings and a bunch of records. But what about the three-pointer that Curry has long been synonymous with? Since 2012, when Steph finally set it into the league, he's been bombarding opponents with the long-range shots. Since then, he has made over 4,000 three-pointers, the most in NBA history. Curry celebrated his 4,000th shot recently. Back in 2021, he broke the record of Ray Allen, the all-time leading tackler. He's now nearly 1,000 shots away from second place. That's incredible because Curry is still in shape and can take anyone out on a good day. In addition, he will spend at least a couple more seasons in the league under his current contract with the Warriors. Curry pushed the boundaries of reality in the 2015-2016 season, making 402 three-pointers. No one had ever come even close to that bar before. Critics argue that three-point revolution has changed the mentality of players. Coaches and entire organizations for the worse. 3 is bigger than 2 and don't care about anything else. Teams are increasingly prioritizing shots from the perimeter, losing versatility and identity. Would it be interesting to watch a game where you know in advance the development of all offensive events? Or an entire league with the 30 teams doing the same thing, differing only in skill level? Some attribute the drop in NBA ratings to Steph. Viewership of the All-Star game is down 13% from last year, and regular season games are down 5%. It would seem that Curry is an insanely flashy player who should be getting attention, but for some it works the other way around. Any graph of the distribution of three-pointers in league history will show that the number has peaked. While the 1980s averaged 3.2 long-range shots per game, the 2000s average and the 2020s averaged 34.5. This season, three-pointers are once again a priority. Reigning champion Boston is making 48 attempts from the perimeter per game, and halfway through the season, they've made 50 three-pointers. Haters blame Curry, who has 8 seasons with more than 10 attempts per game. Legends like Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley have openly criticized his influence, believing it belittles the art of basketball and drives traditional centers out of the game. Over the past few decades, the classic big men that dominated the paint have become less prominent. At one point, it seemed like they were dying out. Old-school players like Dwight Howard and Timothy Mozgov faded into the background. It's not that they didn't play well, it's just that their role became less important in the era of three-pointer. You could say adapt or die, and that would be true. But the fact that the game has become more monotonous cannot be ignored. LeBron, who understands basketball, pointed out that it's not about three-pointers first. In his opinion, basketball is about versatility, and Curry's influence has led to young players focusing on long shots, neglecting defense, passing, and footwork. Steph himself has repeatedly defended his style, emphasizing that his playing opens up new possibilities. It's not a breaking of tradition, but a fresh look. Curry is the symbol of Golden State's victories and the main face of their dynasty. It's a mistake to think those Warriors were all about three-pointers. Yes, they shot a lot, but their basketball was smart. Lots of off-ball moves, screens, and interactions. Three-pointers become their key weapon, but not their only weapon. Golden State's Death 5 with Curry, Clay, and Draymond showed how perimeter shots can destroy any defense. It's weird to fault them for finding a legit path to greatness. Curry said three-pointers don't ruin basketball but make it more exciting, especially for fans of the offensive game. For example, in the 2022-2023 season, teams averaged nearly 115 points per game, a record since the 1970s. Steph's influence has gone beyond the NBA. High school and college players are emulating his shots. The number of young basketball players practicing three-pointers has increased 48% since Curry won his first MVP in 2015. In the NBA, the idea of winning has changed. It used to be that playoff success was impossible without physically tough players chewing up the floor. Throwaway teams rarely took titles. There was Nowitzki's Dallas in 2011, but that seemed like the exception. That changed with the Warriors, as Boston proved last year. Curry created a trend that changed basketball. Teams wanted and want to be like those Warriors. Houston with Garden experimented with the small five, where all players were under 2 meters but shot well. The defense has adapted too. Now you can just throw from far. Players travel long distances, work on spacing and finding opportune moments. Curry, like Iverson once did, showed that even the title ones can be successful among the giants. In the end, the debate about his impact boils down to a point. But Curry's legacy isn't about destroying basketball, it's about changing it. And that makes him one of the most influential figures in NBA history. That was all. If you find this video interesting, please press like button. It was Ibra on the microphone, and see you guys in the next video.